I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Happy
Go.
to be here, man. I'm honored to be here.
Hey, no, how you doing, sir? Oh man, I'm honored as well. Thank you so much for joining.
We here, man. Let's get to it. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate your love for hip hop. I appreciate your love for history, brother, for doing things the right way. I watched you interview my brother, Mr. Results, Deuce, and when I saw you interview him, it was just
yes, sir.
A lot of the things that y'all discussed, I was privileged to see with my own eyes. A lot of and I know that he was very accurate in describing what it is that you guys are talking about. And so I just felt the need to everybody know I got a story to tell. Everybody know I've been around and stuff, and I don't really put myself in a situation where I kind of talk a lot because I feel like gossiping is for chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like talking about other men. I don't like talking about situations that I've seen or been involved in. But at the end of the day, it's just, Deuce, I love you, Deuce. I see you commenting. Many wild nights. Yeah, many wild nights. Like,
he right there. Yes, sir.
Like,
thank you, dude.
If there is a platform that I'm going to sit down, if there is a platform that I'm going to share some of my, adventures with, I felt like this is the right way to do it. I felt like this is, and so, word, that's what it is.
Oh, brother, thank you. My God.
Let's do it.
I got a little intro I like to do, and then let's get busy. Okay. All right. What up, all my hoodlums, hooligans, knuckleheads, players, and pimps, slaves, and simps, hoes, and freaks, nerds, and geeks, strippers, and tippers, thugs, and gorillas, soldiers, and kings, goddesses, and queens. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, niggas and bitches, and you sophisticated motherfuckers alike. Welcome to hip-hop's biggest fan. And today, man, I have a gentleman, from my understanding, does high-level security for the who's of what you want to know, celebrities and rappers in particular. I'm gonna just run down some of the names. You got Pusha T, Cameron, Jim Jones, NORE, I think Fabulous, Jadakiss. Just some names that some legends that we can go off. But since we're here today, I'm here with Big Vic. All right. But today in particular, last post, I want to talk to you about that before we get into anything else, because today is the 20th anniversary of 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, the fucking cold classic. And from my understanding, you were around.
I mean, honestly, we started working with him in August of 2002. Me and my brother Dream All Out. For anybody that's on IG, they know Dream All Out, All Out Dream. The name of our organization is AOG. In the beginning, they used to stand for All Out Guardians. We've been the All Out Global Group. And as of the last 10 years, we've been All Out Greatness, because it's just, without us ever wanting to, that's like the level that we attained, right? Like, we started off doing security. We based out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. And our mindset was more or less like, here we are, we start this company and we trying to teach really these dudes that don't know how to do nothing else. Like, they street dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, might have graduated from high school, might have went to college, but now they're walking around 6'5", 6'6", 300 pounds, and they don't really know what to do with themselves in. So we always came from a background of being athletes. I played football, he played basketball. Working out was a thing for us. At an early age, we got into the guns and going to the range and doing all that. And this is circa 1997, 1998.
Okay.
Yeah,
you already asked him plenty of my questions. I'm listening.
I was already doing security. 97, I started working at the tunnel. 98, I got on with NORE. And then just to touch on the 50 situation.
Okay.
AOG Deuce need a job. Deuce, you something else. The 50 situation came with us August of 2022. He was managed by Violator Management, which was Chris Lighty, Mike Lighty, Dave Lighty, Jonathan Lighty, Mona Scott. And at the time they managed everybody. They managed Buster, they managed Missy, they also managed NORE. So from our relationship with NORE, our relationship with CNN, working with them as a duo, me and my brother Dream, We also work with Mobb Deep. So 2002, the early part of the year to August, we was with Mobb Deep. This during the Infamy record. We was in the Getaway video and all that in Tijuana, Mexico.
Okay.
Like really had to go down there, and I'm Dominican. So I had to speak Spanish to the cartel, asking permission to be there to shoot certain scenes. Just a long, elaborate list. This is before the internet. This is before pictures, you know what I'm saying? So because of our relationship with the Lighties and Violator, they already knew that we had been across the country with these artists, and that a lot of the venues that 50 was going to have to touch on that mixtape tour, we already had been there. We had established relationships with the owners. We had established relationships with security. And because, like I said, I've been doing this since 97, 98 with NORE.
Yes, sir.
We had relationships with street niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like the dudes that, because you got to ask yourself, who's able to come up with $15,000, $20,000 to book a rapper? Like it's not going to be an average, entrepreneur, the local sneaker store owner. Nobody got 15, 20 racks to just put up and take a chance with it. So you dealing with street people, and that's
cash.
When, at that time it was different. Integrity, honor, loyalty, your mannerisms, the way you spoke, looking niggas in the eyes, shaking their hands, being about your words, standing on what you say, all that shit meant something. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Well, my point about that post. Okay.
Yeah.
This was when y'all was doing the In the Club video.
We was with them from
you
the
were there,
jump,
and
man.
Suge pulled up.
Yeah, like so. What I'm saying is, when we was with them, that's when everybody was saying Cream had money on his head. Like, I don't get into that. I don't know what's going on. I just know we kept. Yeah, because all I know is we kept him safe. Ain't nothing happened to that man.
Yeah, we don't have to go there.
And and we played our part, like Smurf, Ice, Bless His Soul, Jesse. There was a lot of dudes that was part of the the street team, right? Like, and they did what they did. They handled situations that weren't security related, but were street related. Where we handled his personal security. Like we handled his circumference, his well-being, his thought process, because you get shot 9 times and then you heal up. You don't trust nobody. So all of a sudden, I think part of his comfort level with us was we were from Connecticut.
Yeah.
We weren't from New York, so we didn't have any ties to nobody that he knew of. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in his mind, he's like, yeah, these some dudes that they just hungry and they about their business. You know what I'm saying? So it was easy for us to like forge that relationship and for us to like move forward. And then the whole Suge situation, niggas know I'm the one that got him up off the set. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like, there's a million people I can get to correlate this. This is not something I have to like, niggas know what it is. Like, he left the set because he saw me and he knew what it was. Like, I'm 6'5", just like he is. Yeah, 350, and I'm younger. And I'm hungry. Like,
I'm just as big as you. Maybe bigger.
What I'm saying? Like, I want you to get out of order because at that time I had something to prove. Like, and so I had knocked out bigger niggas than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point in time, niggas knew my body of work. That's why I was in that situation.
Yes, sir.
That's why I was in LA with 50 Cent, his first time shooting in the club with Eminem and Dr. Dre. And when homie really tried to come on the video set, though, I give him his props. Like, he on his bully shit for real. Like, I couldn't comprehend his mindset, like, because he knew he wasn't by himself.
Yeah.
He knew there was security there, but he felt like I can intimidate anybody just with my physical presence.
I mean, that was even as a fan, that was kind of with the reputation that preceded him.
He had been through some shit where he got knocked out at the barbershop too. But I think our encounter just let everybody know around my circle that he was human. So we looked at him from a different, we thought you was a bully. We thought you was a wolf. Like, what happened? You understand what I'm saying? Like, but he didn't want that pressure because this is what he knew. Anybody could get it. But he understood that there was a good possibility I was going to embarrass him. And he couldn't afford to take that chance, right? because I was gonna end it for him, right? And so everybody that was around understand that, they know what it is. And so, you know, there were various situations. It wasn't that. It was like, you know, shit with World from Brooklyn. Like, it was a lot of shit that went down. Like, yeah, like, you know, but it was like,
okay.
I give God all the glory because, you know, he kept us, you know, and then I'm paranoid by nature. Like, I come from a neighborhood where you had to be like on your P's and Q's. Like, you couldn't really, you know, niggas would tell you, hey man, that's a nice jacket. Let me see, what size is that? Next thing you know, nigga walking off with your jacket if you don't know what you're dealing with. So I ain't never been in that situation. I ain't never been fooled. I ain't never been in a situation where nobody took advantage of me because I'm paranoid. And off the rip, I don't care about what it is. Like, I'm going to stand on my business. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't disrespect nobody. I don't look for trouble with nobody. I never thought I would make it to this age, man. I'm 48 years old. Like, when I was doing this at 20, 21 years old, there was no blueprint. There was nobody before me that showed me the game.
Right.
Like, we came up and there was some niggas at the tunnel. There was OGs of mine that they really showed me how to do security work at clubs. But when it came to this traveling, nobody taught us nothing. Like, we had to learn off the muscle. Like, we went and we got our pistol permits. And then me and my brother had got bail enforcement agent license, which back then was a bounty hunter license. And that's how we was able to carry everywhere. See, this before security guard cars. There was no
I get it.
Like, yo, I used to smoke weed while I worked, man. Like, because, and what I tell people is this, like, you can't judge me based, like, now everybody want to go to school and everybody want to be an executive protector. And I respect it, man, because there's supposed to be involvement, right? You're supposed to evolve. But when we started, we was just trying to make it home at night.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Like, we didn't know, so.
My man. Okay. Well, I'm you kind of brought it up.
I'm originally from New York City,
Where
107th Street between Manhattan and Columbus. That's the Upper West Side, 3 blocks away from Harlem, because Harlem started on 110th. So I'm really enthralled in the Harlem scene, really enthralled. Me and Jim Jones went to high school together. Like he know I'm like that for real. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't some shit like he hired me or Cam hired me. Because teenagers. I was just a big goofball walking around. There was a crash test dummy. It's like he knew me since I was 15 years old. When he was a freshman, I was a junior. When he was a sophomore, I was a senior. So he knew that I've been fighting grown men since I was a kid. He knew that I was on my whatever since I was young. And then I just evolved. You know, I got older. I got more mature. I grew as a man. I had a child. And once I had my child, my motivation was different. Like, now I got something to do it for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it changes everything. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So
yeah, no. What happened was at 17, I went to Connecticut.
Moved to Connecticut after that, or
I went to defensive tackle, offensive tackle.
Okay. So what position did you play?
I played football at Cardinal Hayes High School. That's the high school I went to.
Okay.
It's in the Bronx. I got a scholarship to go to the school in CT.
Okay.
And, you know, I was 17 years old. So my mother was like, you got to get out of here. Like, you know, because it was, you know, I come from a block where it was a gang called YTC and Red Top. And there's a bunch of, like, you know, street shit going on. So with my size and with my demeanor, she knew it was a matter of time before shit was going to go left. So here I go, you know, school offered me $30,000 a year to come up here and get an education. I came up here, but like, I'm 17, so as soon as I got to college, I started as a freshman. So, but I'm, you know, like, it's not supposed to be that way. Like, I felt like I had to earn it. I felt like I was gonna get redshirted, but I got there and it was like, it was easy. I was already ready. So I've always been called the man child. I've always been called, you know, when I was 17, I looked like I was 22. So what happened was, I gravitated towards the streets.
Right.
You know, where the weed at, where the club at. Because that's...
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm 17.
Right. I mean, think shit that a 22-year-old does. Or a 17-year-old does, excuse
Yeah,
me.
so
If a
that's what I was
17-year-old,
doing.
forgive
You
me.
know, I'm like,
Forgive me, a 17-year-old does, hell yeah.
Where the weed at? You know, where the clubs at? Where the party at? And so I started to develop relationships in Bridgeport, here where
Yes, sir.
my school was in Fairfield, but I was living in Bridgeport, and I was like, yo, some real niggas up here. Like, you know, coming from New York, you be thinking like, oh, Connecticut is the suburbs. And like, when I got up here, they was rat-tat-tat-tat and everything too. Like, yeah, you know, they got, I'm gonna give love to everybody. You know, PT was booming,
okay.
North End was booming. Father Panic Village was still up. Like, if that tell anybody, at one point in time, Father Panic Village was considered the worst project in the country. So that was still up. You know what I'm saying? Like the West End, the South End, everybody. But I was one of them that I was respected by everybody, and I gave everybody the respect. So when we started doing clubs, we separated ourselves in the club scene because I brought that tunnel shit up here. You know what I'm saying? Like very aggressive, barricades, checkpoints. You know, if you don't got ID, it's 20. If you got weed in your pocket, it's 20. Like, so because we was trying to make a living doing this. You know, before us, bouncers used to make $10, $15 an hour.
Right.
Now niggas is getting 30, 35, 40, 45. Y'all welcome.
Man.
We did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, for real.
Right. Well, okay. What was the transition, I guess, from football and college to
so
getting
when I was
into
in college,
the security
they would
bouncer
do homecoming events,
business?
And every time they would have events, they would hire the football team to do security. And so what happened was I started to separate myself just in my demeanor, in my mannerism, the way I spoke, the way I carried myself. I feared no man, never have. You know what I'm saying? So at 17, 18, I would look a grown man in his face and like, what it is, what we doing? So where a lot of kids were probably in the process of finding themselves, I was quite comfortable with who I was. And so that separation, like, and this is the way it started. The Fugees did a homecoming event at my school. I met their manager, and he was like, you ever thought about doing bodyguard work? And I was like, nah, like, you know, that ain't my thing. I'm trying to go pro. I'm trying to play football. And then about a year and a half later, my first artist ever was Rampage, Busta Rhymes' cousin. Public Enemy #1. You know? And he was a great artist to start with because he came up to Connecticut to do a show at a club that I ran, met his manager, same thing. You ever thought about doing bodyguard work? You look good. You know, you got the look, you got the demeanor. I was like, nah. He was like, yo, here, take my number. The next day, he called me like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a Saturday. He was like, can you be at the Apollo Theater like 5 o'clock in the afternoon? And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I got 400 for you if you can make it. So this is 1997. You know what I'm saying? Right after Big had died, which was another motivating factor in me getting into the game. Like Big was my favorite rapper. So, you know, growing up, to give me the loops, the kick in the doors, like all that was like theme music for me at the time, the way I was living. So when he passed, I just felt really like, damn, if I was with him, maybe that don't happen because of my discernment, my keenness, the way I pay attention and